Just clever rigs that hook a carp. Getting the right bait is just as important. The days have long gone when a bit of lightly grilled sausage would fool a carp.
Don't you break our blender this time, Peter?
No. Today there's a scientific approach to preparing bait, and carp anglers like Terry Clark and Gary Whitehorn spend hours mixing and cooking their so-called boilies, little balls of high-protein carp food. Terry Clark even keeps carp at home to see how they react to his different mixtures. Carp anglers can be very secretive about what they put into a bait when it's working well. Some of them are so desperate to catch the fish they'll go to any lengths to find out the secrets of other anglers.
We actually had our bait tins open, or bait bags opened. So you just try to keep your baits out of the way as much as possible. And lots of new guys coming into the sport seem to spend more time with binoculars watching other anglers than they do watching the lake for fish.
But there's one carp fanatic who's made a business out of bait and doesn't mind sharing at least some of his secrets. Jeff Kemp is the bait king of the carp world. He's got the smelliest garage I've ever come across. He's piled high with sacks of high-protein powder and bottles of flavoured liquids. You soon discover the reasons why.
You use a flavour which the carp can detect from a distance. So the idea basically is that the carp eats the bait, realises and evaluates in some way that it is beneficial to its diet, and the flavour is a constant reminder that yes, that bait does me good. So juicy plum, if it eats a bait that's flavoured with juicy plum flavour and it does it good, it goes looking for juicy plum again. I've got on my current range 34 different flavours. Well, there are thousands of flavours available. All I do is every year bring in another 5 or 6 new ones to create the variety. They're buying a dream. They're not buying mown grass flavour. They're buying a £20 carp on the bank. This mown grass is really going to crucify the fish when they're out there, and they're going to stack them up like breeze blocks. They're convinced they're going to catch.
This lake in South Wheel Park in Essex is known to contain a couple of whoppers. How do people know this? Because they've been caught and put back many, many times. Jeff Kemp fishes here regularly. Kevin Maddox hasn't fished the lake before, but wherever he is, his action-packed routine always starts the same way.
Well, the first thing I do is walk around the lake a couple of times, looking for fish. Climbing trees is definitely an advantage because wearing Polaroid glasses, they take the reflective glare off the water, and you can often see the fish on the bottom swimming around. So I would normally spend a couple of hours, perhaps, looking for fish before starting.
Carp angling may be about dedication, but it's also about patience. Despite all the sophisticated gear, the carp were winning. After 8 hours, neither Kevin nor Jeff had had a bite.
Hello mate, hadn't he?
No, nothing yet.
No action at all?
No, very quiet.
I should pick up later on.
It's not too late yet, we've got plenty of time yet.
What do you do while you're waiting?
Just keep thinking on what you can do next. What are you doing wrong? Should I be somewhere else on the lake? There must be a carp feeding somewhere. Can I do something different to catch it? Some people think like that all the time. Others read books. Just anything to pass the time away, really. Most of my time is spent thinking how I can catch a fish.
It's the best waste of time I've ever found. There is no rhyme or reason for going carp fishing, as there is for any fishing. You cannot justify it because it is pointless casting out, catching a fish, putting it back again and going home.
It's during the long hours of waiting that carp anglers learn affection and respect for their prey.
An average carp may get caught perhaps 3-4 times in a season, but when you consider that every day and night of its life there are baits and hooks and lines around it, it doesn't do bad slipping up just 3 times. I mean, humans make plenty of mistakes in their lives. So I think it's perfectly acceptable that even though a fish might get caught perhaps 3 times in a year, it's not that stupid.
You get old friends. I caught a fish here a couple of weeks ago. It was 26.5 pounds from this actual. No, it wasn't from this room. It was from one further up the bank. But as I was playing it, I thought it was obviously a big carp. And as soon as I pulled it over the net, I recognised it from the scale patterns. And I thought, we call that one the big boy. It was a meeting of friends. I've caught him 7 or 8 times in the years that I've been fishing this lake. He's obviously fond of me also.
But after 10 hours, it was clear that the big boy had gone off Jeff. Must have been something he said. 2 of London's top carp anglers had blanked.
You've got to have blanks to appreciate, the good times, and we accept days like today occasionally.
Be quite revolutionary when it happens.
Away from the water, the hunter relaxes by talking about carp to other people who want to talk about carp.
Then went somewhere where he's been getting lots of twitches and converted every twitch into a tail.
This is a meeting of the Lee Valley branch of the Carp Anglers Association. They get together every 6 weeks or so. Everyone's here to chat about carp, and the bigger the carp, the better the conversation.
32.6. And the next question, I was over the moon. So, to actually catch a 30-pound carp was like bliss. It really was. Another feeling that you just can't describe, really. I suppose it's like the first time you make love. It's unbelievable.
It's an obsession. You get used to the blank sessions, but the feeling of actually catching, the feeling of knowing that all your hard works, all the work you've done previous, has paid off. You've got it right. That's what it's all about. It's not like going down any old river and just knocking out a few little fish. It's a terrific feeling.
I basically fish 5 nights every week, which includes a spell right through from Friday through until Monday morning. I don't have a job, which is a 37-hour week. The Tuesday nights I leave straight from work, fish the night, back to work the next day, and the same on Wednesday night. So my whole life is geared around carp fishing, yes.
We are mad for the things you give up
Oh, yeah, true.
to do what you do. I mean, from an outsider, you probably think we're all blind. But the fishing is nice. I like being mad.
We're going to call the raffle now. So can you get your tickets out, please? 680.
It's over there, look.
How do you do it? You win every time.
But when the fun and games are over, it's down to the serious business. A talk and a slideshow about, well, you've guessed it, carp fishing.
One of the better known fish called wob. It really is a big fish, not weight-wise, but the size of it really is big. And it's a right battle-scarred old thing, and when you hook it, there's a picture of it actually in Kevin's book, and it says a torpedo like mid-20, and it goes like a bloody submarine as soon as you hook it, it's ridiculous.
It's not doing much at the moment, it's just sort of hanging about.
But carp anglers are only really happy when they're out fishing.
Who says carp don't feed on cold winter days?
The day after he blanked at South Weald, Kevin Maddox was back at the waterside.
Carp are never easy to catch, especially big ones, and you're forever looking for new techniques. You're forever looking for new ideas, and you don't get fed up, you don't get bored with it. It's, I don't know what that would weigh, 8 to 9 pounds, I think. Yeah. It's a very pretty fish, isn't it?
So there it is. Many hours of preparation and 15 hours of waiting by the waterside for just 5 minutes worth of action.
It's best to wet the sling, it takes less of the fish's slime off.
One's tempted to ask, is it all worth it? Well, Kevin and his mates actually enjoy the inactivity. It's all part of the game. Hunters chasing and outwitting their quarry.
We just weigh him up, see what he weighs. About 9 pounds.
carp anglers pursue an obsession. And to them, the question, is it worth it, is absurd. You might as well ask, is
And what bait did the fish take? It was an apricot flavoured floater, wasn't it?
Yeah, apricot flavoured trout pellet based floater.
You get a good idea of the weight of the fish here. You can see you stagger off with the fish. Carp fishing is a step beyond the realms of ordinary fishing as we know it. It's pitting your wits against the most difficult fish to catch in this country, the most intelligent fish. You dream about them at night, you can't get them off your mind while you're working, and you put thousands of hours of thought and effort into trying to catch these fish. And when you actually catch a big one, the rewards are there. You cannot describe what it's like. It's absolutely fantastic. It's so satisfying, much more than anything else that I can think of in life. When you've got it on the bank, you want to get it back as quick as possible. It must seem strange to non-anglers.
That's right. I can't imagine how anyone could possibly want to kill anything like that. Yeah. People always ask me why we do it.